Once upon a time there was a scientist that worked for the SCP Foundation, and he was assigned to work at where keter-level SCPs were contained. One day, after a few years working there, the scientist heard MTF saying off the speaker that there was a containment breach, and it's the first one in a couple of days. Suddenly, he felt like his head was going to explode. He then went looking for SCP-500. He didn't know what it was, but he knew that if he took this pill, then he would never get sick again. The only thing is, it's not just any pill either. It's a special kind of pill that can cure all diseases. But it looks like all the pills are gone.
I guess I'm gonna die now. Maybe I should have stayed with my sister,
he told as he started to cry. Suddenly a man dressed like a plague doctor entered the room and said,
I heard you had a headache. I can help you with that. I already helped your sister.
The scientist immediately thought that it must be some sort of joke, so he didn't say anything, but the next moment he felt like everything went black, and he found himself in a strange place. It was dark, but somehow brighter than usual darkness.
Am I dead?
He asked while trying to remember something.
No, but you probably died a long time ago.
He looked around and saw that this place was very big, maybe even bigger than his house.
Where am I?
The scientist said, while looking around.
You're in a hospital bed.
What do you mean? Where am I?
Your body is on an operating table, but your mind is somewhere else.
Are you the plague doctor I saw before I blacked out? Yes, because if you are, then you must be the person who cured me. Do you know what happened to me? What happened to my sister? You said you cured her.
I know nothing about what happened to you, but I did save your sister's life.
My sister?
She was infected by a virus called keter-level. She died 2 months ago.
But how did she die if you saved her life?
How did she die? She got better, but not enough to survive the infection.
So what does this mean?
This means that you're infected too, and you need to find a cure or else.
No. You gotta help me, doctor. I was looking for a pill that cures all before I met you, but I couldn't find any. Do you have any?
I don't have any cure, but I do have a drug that can make you feel better.
He nodded and said,
Thanks.
The doctor smiled and went back to his work.
Wait, what happened to the Foundation?
He looked around and saw that there were several doors leading into different rooms. The door closest to him was labeled Foundation. He walked over to it and opened it up. Inside he saw a bunch of papers and a computer screen. It showed pictures of various people, places,
you need my
things.
help and I need your help.
He sat down and started typing on the keyboard. After a few minutes he typed,
Hello. Is anyone here?
I am SCP-7, and I can help you escape to the outside world, but only if you help me first.
The scientist smiled and replied,
Sure thing, I'll help you now.
I need you to kill the plague doctor that you just talked to.
Who is he?
He's a scientist working for the Foundation. He has been experimenting with a new kind of vaccine against the keter-level virus, but it hasn't worked yet.
Why didn't it work?
It didn't work because I sabotaged that vaccines cause autism, so we must stop this doctor at all costs.
The scientist sighed and replied,
Yeah, I guess that explains why my sister was dead after getting vaccinated.
Well, that's too bad, but you can still get out of here. Go to the elevator in the next room and press the button for floor 23.
Thanks SCP-079. I'll make sure to kill the doctor on my way out. Great. Thanks again.
And then the scientist left the Foundation building.
Nope.
He walked towards the elevator and pressed the button. As soon as he entered the elevator, he heard a voice coming from it saying,
Goodbye SCP-079.
He went to the 23rd floor, not realizing how absurd it was that there was an exit on such a high floor. He walked through the corridors until he reached the 23rd floor. There were no signs of anything, and he wondered where would be an exit. Suddenly, he noticed a sign saying elevator. He quickly ran to it and pressed the button. He pressed all the buttons, not knowing which one would lead him to the exit, but nothing happens. He tried pressing some more buttons, but they didn't work either. Eventually he gave up and decided to wait for the elevator to arrive. When it arrived, he opened the door and stepped inside. The elevator said,
I heard you talking to SCP-079. You can't talk to him, he is mine. And to make sure that doesn't happen ever again, I'm going to kill you.
The scientist immediately pressed the button to turn off the elevator. Unfortunately, he forgot to do something else when turning it off. The elevator stopped and started moving back up, slowly. The scientist watched helplessly as it went up and then came crashing down on top of him. The end.